someone suggested I might experience a little weather en route. No idea what they were talking about. It's week 2 and I'm heading west, 2,000 kilometers west to be precise. With Iguazu in the rearview mirror, my route takes a little detour south past the ruins of the San Ignacio mission, then it's a straight shot across the vast emptiness of the northern pampas and onto the city of Salta and the foothills of the Andes. From there, it's over the top and down the other side to San Pedro de Atacama in Chile. I've still got one more day in Puerto Iguazu, so before heading off, and seeing as I'm already here, I guess I better check out these waterfalls everyone bangs on about. Puerto Iguazu doesn't seem to be a place for early risers, which is fine by me, as it means a swift exit out of town. The national park entrance is about 2 hours down the road by donkey, but fortunately only 20 minutes on a motorcycle. Argentina's bike friendliness continues with rockstar parking opposite the main entrance to the falls. A great way to start my visit. Next up, it's tickets, and bracing for the inevitable tourist scrum that accompanies any major attraction these days. But the initial signs are promising, and it's not long before I'm moseying my way towards the tourist train which will shift me to the falls proper. Iguazu Falls sprawls across the border between Argentina and Brazil on the Iguazu River. You can admire them from national parks on both sides, but with apologies to our Brazilian amigos, I'm told that the Argentinian views are better. The park itself has an air of crisp efficiency, no doubt lubricated by a certain proportion of the loot extracted from visiting gringos like myself, whose entry fee, at 8 times the local price, would be wallet-withering, if not for Argentina's financial crisis. To view the falls without taking one yourself, there are 2 main trails, the misleadingly named superior and inferior circuits. Not being one to judge, I'm going to do both, starting with the superior, simply because the word means upper in Spanish. And assuming I make it through the throng of fellow falls gazers. The conga line eventually deposits me at the first bit of falling water, and the line for selfies, which is quite hilarious, given how much better the views get further on. But this does give me an opportunity to jump ahead and start to get a feel for the sheer scale of this place. And ultimately, if you can't beat them, although Niagara flows faster and Victoria Falls is higher, Iguazu is the largest system of waterfalls in the world, and it's certainly impressive, even with the crowds. Pushing on, I also can't help but tip my hat to whoever was given the unenviable task of wrestling these walkways into existence so that everyone can go home in one piece with a shot of themselves next to a raging torrent of water. Well done, chaps. Monkeys in the trees make for a helpful distraction for the tourist horde, allowing me to follow a blissfully empty walkway towards the inferior in elevation only circuit. And approaching the start, I can't help but raise an eyebrow at the curious warnings of impending surfers, and the crowd that's gathered to presumably witness this imminent spectacle. The Iguazu Shuffle carries me along, but it's great to get up close and personal with the falls, although not quite as close as some. The main part of the falls are super impressive on their own, but it wouldn't be Lonely Road without some slow-mo waterfall action. The lower circuit eventually dumps me at the selfie-tastic Dos Hermanas or Two Sisters waterfall. It's also the last major stop on my visit. Bidding adios to the ladies, it's time to head back to Puerto Iguazu. The warm afternoon makes for a relaxing ride as my thoughts turn to the epic journey west ahead tomorrow. 7 days in, and it's farewell to Puerto Iguazu. Today I'm southbound, heading through the rest of Misiones province to the former mission town of San Ignacio. Puerto Iguazu isn't exactly a metropolis, but it's big enough to hope that at least one petrol station might actually have petrol. I figured I'd top up before embarking on the next leg. That was the plan at least, until I saw a queue that would make even the Iguazu Falls conga line blush. Firmly planting that problem in the basket for later, I decide to start heading south. The Missionian roads and countryside continue the themes of smooth and scenic, so it's time to sit back and enjoy the green landscape, the glorious spring sunshine, and the exceptional Argentinian driving skills.
Every road we wander black of night to gold of dawn, we'll see all that we could be. When the journey's come and gone, and we found where we belong, we'll know that it carried us home.
A few sun-drenched hours later, after a pleasant ride, I roll into San Ignacio. First stop is to check into my hotel for the night, the criminally cheap Sea Hostel. And although my body says sleep, the plan is to first spend a couple of hours exploring the town's famous ruins.
Let the sunset glow carry us home.
Modern San Ignacio gets its name from San Ignacio Mini, the UNESCO-approved ruins of a 17th century Spanish Jesuit mission. At its height, the mission was home to over 3,000 souls, before being destroyed in 1817 during one of South America's many independence wars. God, it seems, wasn't overly enamoured with this particular corner of the continent. Although rediscovered in 1897, the site was left in jungle hands until 1940, when excavation and restoration were finally started. The ruins are quite extensive, but devoid of gift shops and virtually empty, a welcome change from the all-encompassing touristicity of Iguazu Falls. Sadly, my wander is cut short by an officious UNESCO minion calling pumpkin time at sunset. And in hindsight, maybe that wasn't such a bad thing after all. Day 8, and the remnants of last night's storm linger, much like the local audience. I moved my bike under shelter last night, so now a little detour and a deft throttle hand are needed to get back on track. San Ignacio is pretty small, so it's not long before I'm rejoining the main highway and ready to crack on with my westward trek. And it's going to be a fairly damp one by the looks of it. The subtropical rainforest of Misiones soon opens up, yielding to the northern pampas, Argentina's answer to the Wild West, but with better beef. It's going to be several days of very, very flat landscape and very, very straight roads. Today's ride finishes in the town of Corrientes, a forgettable provincial capital that apparently I couldn't even be bothered filming. Day 9, and it's a gloomy start. On the plus side, at least it's not raining. Heading west from Corrientes means crossing the immense Parana River, fortunately by bridge. But before that, some magic words are needed to appease the guardians at a police checkpoint.
No hablo español, yo soy australiano. Dale, pase.
there, it's nearly 450 dead straight Ks to my destination for today, a cookie crumb on the map called Monte Quemado. These roads seem to bring out the best in Argentinian drivers, so I compliment the skills on display from the white ute with the internationally approved gesture for excellent driving. Flipping between small towns and the open pampas induces a mild state of zen, interrupted only by slow-moving trucks and the indecision of the weather. Clear or not clear, it seems to be a tough choice for whoever's in charge. Day, and the petrol snake makes another appearance. But fortunately, it's more carpet python than anaconda, and for some reason, all the car drivers appear to have missed the memo. On the plus side, this makes the line move quickly, so I take the opportunity to max out my fill, much to the annoyance of those with 5-litre tanks behind me. It's then a short ride down the road, past yet another guardian, to my stop for the night, the cheap but pleasant Hotel Adriana. Day 10, and it's a familiar squelch under rubber as I head back to the very straight road. But unlike yesterday, the meteorological soothsayers predict a reprieve from the heavens at some point later today.
You can't be calm like the breeze when they come. They come to take everyone. You can't run free like the river. You can't shine bright.
I'm not kidding about the crazy straight roads. It's been like this for 2 days now. But as I turn the drone, I do notice there may finally be some curves ahead.
And you can't feel safe in your body.
Who or what is Gouchitogil, I hear you ask. Fortunately, a chance to explain arrives at an opportune moment. Gouchitogil, literally Little Gaucho Hill, is Argentina's folk state answer to Robin Hood, albeit a somewhat unorthodox one, whose legend involves a particularly nasty bit of upside-down arboreal butchery. The real Antonio Mamerto Gil Núñez, if he ever existed outside of Gaucho campfire tales, met his end in 1878 in a manner that would make a Texas hanging look like a morning spa treatment, and resulting in, amongst other things, one very red scarf. These days, he's venerated for good luck, with offerings of booze and smokes, a saintly preference that would surely raise an eyebrow at the Vatican. You can't swing a metaphorical poncho in Argentina without clocking a shrine to the Gauchito and their red bunting nods to his bloody scarf. Literally a couple of 100 metres up the road, there's another. It's a good sign, as whether by Hill's hand or not, the gloomy conditions finally seem to be drawing to a close.
That you will listen, and you don't do as you've always done.
Hitting the main road and the final stretch to Salta, I get welcome relief from the flat countryside and my first glimpse of the Andean foothills. Salta is a former colonial town and now the provincial capital, and also the largest city in the region. It's a pleasant kind of place and makes for an excellent staging post before I hit the high Andes tomorrow. Day 11 and no more straight roads.
I can't seem to let you go. I needed all those times we fell apart.
Escaping Salta isn't exactly scaling the Khyber Pass, but I've chosen the twisty Route 9 to take me to the Andean highway proper. It's a pleasant ride, topping out around 1500 metres, then heading down for a brief dip before the main event. Only in the Andes can a 1500 metre pass be considered a warm-up act.
Won't you stay, won't you stay, won't you stay? Won't you stay, won't you stay, won't you stay? I can't find my way tonight. I'm praying.
It's not too long before I connect with Route 52, the main road to the Chilean border and what will be my first taste of serious altitude. And the weather finally seems to be grudgingly agreeing to cooperate as well. The desert landscape is stunning in the glorious spring sunshine, and it's only going to get better from here. Unlike the driving skills, it seems.
Won't you stay, won't you stay, won't you stay?
Set it all on fire, yes, I take the ride. When my excuses run dry.
After cracking 4,100 metres, the road heads back down to the vast expanse of the Salinas Grandes, the Grand Sol Flats. And down is a relative term here, we're still at around 3,400 metres. Stretching over 212 square kilometres, this place is serious about mineral extraction, but also for Godzilla-themed selfies, as tourists wielding plastic dinosaurs milk the odd perspectives provided by the salt flats to create mock scenes of panic and imminent destruction. But for me, it's right on through and on to the truly high roads.
Tonight, oh, I love the fire. Make no mistake this time, plenty of time to die. I'll take the candlelight, burn up in my mind. Yes, I will, yes, I will, yes, I will. 'Cause what do I know? What do I know? Where do I go? Where do I?
The end of an amazing ride finds me in the remote town of Susques, and my stop for the night. While the frontier feel is great for visitors, I imagine living here brings its own set of challenges. Especially when you consider the town is perched at nearly 3,900 metres. The risk of altitude sickness does cross my mind, but for now it's all good, so to worry for another time. It's day 12 and Argentina has finally flipped the weather switch to well and truly glorious. Bidding adios to the cheap and cosy El Cactus Hotel, it's a short ride back to the main road. Today I'm heading literally over the top on my way to Chile and the first border crossing of the trip at Paso Jama. But before that, there's plenty of amazing scenery to enjoy.
círculo azul, carro azul,
Ok,
ahí ingresa el complejo y hace los papeles.
ok.
A head full of cliches about Latin America means I can't help but approach the border facility with a small amount of trepidation. It's ultimately unfounded. Argentina and Chile share a shockingly efficient den of rubber stamps under one roof. Not counting the inevitable queuing, me and my trusty two-wheel companion are processed out of Argentina and into Chile in a snappy 20 minutes. A crossing so smooth it could be sponsored by WD-40. Another K or so down the road is the actual border, marked, as I will find is typical, by a jarring improvement in the quality of the tarmac. The landscape on the Chilean side continues to be spectacular, although the bright sunshine does hide the fact the temperature has dropped to a balmy 9 degrees. It's about 156 k's from the border to San Pedro de Atacama through this amazing landscape, and I'm looking forward to every single one. My previous trip to Iceland was like riding on the moon, then the Atacama would have to be like riding on Mars. As I start the 2,500 metre descent into San Pedro, my mind is still trying to make sense of the sheer gobsmacking grandeur of today's ride. I've arranged to stay in town for a few days to allow for further exploration and a chance to absorb more of this truly alien world. San Pedro itself is a very touristy town and will be my first taste of the resulting crowd since Puerto Iguazu. Chile's European level prices will also take a bit of getting used to after dirt cheap Argentina. More desert, or high altitude, public transport, llamas, golf courses, the coast, ghost towns, and more dodgy overtaking.